Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Bombadiers. Eli, say something funny.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. Ah!
You know what? That's some good octave right there.
Thank you.
Don't know how my eardrums feel about it, though. Anyway, we're playing Devious Dungeons. Ouch, I'm here with Eli, as you can see.
Yeah.
Or as you can
hear,
playing rather.
Developer Dungeons. Can you even make that jump?
I'm afraid to even try, but I'm gonna try it. Yeah, I made it.
So, it occurred to me that we've been, like, beating up these green dudes a bunch and never once stopped to ask, like, how do they feel about it?
I don't know. Let's ask them. As soon as I find out where the other one is.
Since you upgraded from your sword to a club, I really feel like you should just go up to those green dudes and be like, hey, welcome to the club.
Oh, Eli. I don't want to tell you that's a bad joke, but I think you already know that.
Well, someone has to.
I don't have Andrew here just to, you know, say his famous catchphrase, which is...
oh, you mean shut up?
Yeah.
Or shut the fuck up? Or no?
Or no, yes.
No, yes?
Oh, crap! I didn't see that there was a spike there.
Well, at least you got the coin.
I got the coin, yeah. My greed is usually the one thing that
you just broke an expensive designer Voss.
Well, it expensively had a potion in there that I needed, so
it was insured for more than it cost, though.
Stop putting idols in my fucking dungeons, you fuckers. You see what happened to Egypt.
Yeah, those guys that fucking stand around and don't do anything.
Exactly.
Idols.
Except for the American ones, they stand around and sing. But
that's true. They compete.
Never did find
Oh, do you need the key to get through the portal? Is that what it is?
That's my thought process, but you know what? I haven't really put two and two together.
This level.
Hey, orc baby, let me kick the shit out of you. Ow! Stab me!
That orc baby was like, I'm gonna get one in on you, and if I can do that, then I've won.
Well, you've chosen death then. I cannot argue that your logic was pretty sound, as long as you got one.
No bad for your sins.
No bad for your sins.
So a baby slug walks into a club. Oh.
I don't get the... Wait, what?
Those little red things? Those are baby slugs, right?
Can't even quite say that whether they're slugs or not. They could be caterpillars, well, you know. This level is very
they could, but I feel like they're like the movement pattern of them is distinctly different from like the arch and then extend of a caterpillar or like an inchworm. Actually, caterpillars are less like that. That could totally be a caterpillar.
Never really seen a slug. I never really looked at a slug long enough to see it move because immediately when I seen him, I grabbed my trusty can of salt and salted the fuckers because I find them disgusting.
I'd rather have a slug in my house than a fucking cockroach, though. Cockroaches, I think.
Yeah, cockroaches can just die.
Yeah, they fucking give me the heebie-jeebies, man.
Wait, really? You don't like?
My ex-girlfriend Andrea, like there was one time when there was a huge ass cockroach back in Florida living in my like.
How does Florida get cockroaches? Don't you have like 5 different species of animals that take care of them?
We do, but palmetto bugs are like the big flying cockroaches, and they're super prominent in Florida. That's why we have like Palmetto Park and so on and so forth. But there was a big one like walking around, and I could actually hear it stepping. Like I had to stop playing my game because I heard shit going around, and so I sucked it up in a vacuum cleaner. And
then it destroyed the vacuum cleaner.
Well, I called my mom. I was like, I vacuumed this giant cockroach, and it's making noise in the vacuum cleaner. I don't know what to do. She's like, well, you're gonna have to take it out of the vacuum cleaner and kill it. I don't know what to tell you. And my ex-girlfriend Andrea used to make fun of me all the time for it. Like, I would send her pictures of me at the gym, and she's like, that big strong man is afraid of a teeny little cockroach. And I'm like, okay, fuck you, first off. And now Rachel makes fun of me for that and for dragonflies.
I don't get how you don't like dragonflies. They are the most...
So I actually don't dislike dragonflies, but everyone thinks that that's a real thing because she wouldn't let that die. We were on the phone and I was telling her a joke, and a dragonfly like came around from behind my head right into my fucking face, and it surprised me. And I was like, oh fuck.
And then it offered you sounding. Sorry, I had to. I had to.
No, you didn't. You expressly did not. But everyone thinks that the dragonflies thing is real because of her. If she's watching this, she's probably fucking laughing all over herself right now, and like wheezing and squeaking because the joke has gotten that much traction. But what was I saying?
We were talking about the roaches.
Yeah, it came. So like, I was telling her. I'll tell you the joke too. I'll tell it the way that it happened to me. This man and woman are about to get married, and they're super Christian. So like, they weren't allowed to have sex before marriage at all. And the wife, well, wife to be, is confiding in one of her friends. She's like, I'm not a virgin, and I don't know how to make him think that I am. And her friend was like, it's okay, just put some roast beef up there the night of the wedding, and he won't be able to tell the difference. And so the wedding comes, and the wedding night comes, and they have amazing sex. And she wakes up the next day, and this is where the dragonfly flew in my face. So I was like, fuck! And she thought that was the punchline.
That sound like, and the way you explain it makes it sound like the dragonfly thing was the punchline.
What's that?
The way you explained it just now made it sound like the dragonfly thing was the punchline.
Yeah. Anyway, the real punchline is she rolls over, finds a note, and oh, there's a fucking wizard there.
I just killed the shit out of a human wizard.
Well, that's a bad wizard.
Wizards aren't bad; they're just misguided. Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? Except for Gandalf, he's pretty.
Is that
he's pretty
like
straightforward.
was the dude Saruman?
Yeah, Saruman, you have no power here,
That's
wizard.
like if Sauron became a Digimon.
No, I mean, yeah, I never understood why their names were so closely related. They're not related characters.
I got them
Sauron was
confused when I was young. Anyway, oh gosh,
Wow,
you just
I
like fell several stories onto a bunch of spikes. Anyway, she rolls over, finds a note, and the note says, you know, after a lot of thinking, I've realized that this is not going to work. But I really, truly wish you the best of luck in your future. P.S. Your vagina's in the sink.
That joke is both dark and terrible.
So it wasn't actually her vagina, it was the roast beef, and he didn't know any better.
Your vagina's in the sink. I don't
Yeah.
like I've heard that punchline before. Is that a Family Guy joke as well?
Yeah, that punchline was in Family Guy, but they didn't say the rest of it. And it's the one that made Peter poop his pants every time he heard it.
Oh, right. It was one of those episodes. It was
So
a
anyway,
dirty
I was trying to
joke
tell her that
episode.
joke, and a fucking dragonfly flew in my face. And she immediately got to telling everyone that I'm afraid of dragonflies because
Your
one
dragonflies
surprised me
in the
one fucking time. But this is what I get for stealing her ground beef joke and trying to pass it off as my own.
Ah, so it's a revenge thing. Eli,
Yeah.
you know what? Just because of your strange newfound fear of dragonflies, when the next
Oh my
Pokemon
God.
game come out, I'm going to commission that they make Flygon, who, for those who don't know, is a dragon.
I love Flygon.
Eli, don't kill the joke, please.
Yon Mega, though, that thing can go fuck itself.
Yacht Megas doesn't look bad.
No, it does not.
Look at you. Hey, Yacht Mega looks cute.
Cute!
It's a cute looking Pokemon. Don't you dare try to
You know,
me.
when they introduced Yanma, I was like, what the fuck is the point of this guy? It's just a fucking dragonfly.
What the fuck is the point of Chandelier or Chandelure?
Oh, Chandelure?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually kind of... So here's the thing. There's a lot of parallels between the Unova Pokemon and the Kanto Pokemon. Like, Pidove is basically like Pidgey if it was like
Every
based on like
generation has
American
like a
pigeons.
Pidgeotto type Pokemon.
Yeah, that's probably a weak example, but like, look at Garbodor and compare it to Muck. Look at fucking Timber and compare it to Machop. Look at Roggenrola and compare it to Geodude. There's a lot of similarities.
I don't know. I just feel like somebody made a
Or
good.
throw in Sock and then Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan.
But then again, too, somebody had a good argument on Reddit about Pokemon designs and like why they look the way they do, and they say that the whole like Gen 1 compared to like Gen, I don't know, what are we on, 7?
I think we're about to enter Generation 8 with Sword and Shield.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They kind of explain like why the designs are the way that they are. It's so that the developers can pump out Pokemon a lot easier. When Gen 1, 2, and 3 came out, you notice it's like big design parallels between those 3 games. Even if you like, because the way he explained it, he said, look at like the Pokemon's feet for like Pikachu, and then look at for something like, oh god, I'm gonna draw a blank. What's the Pikachu looking like Pokemon from Diamond and Pearl? It was kind of some kind of like weird.
Oh, is it Pachirisu?
Yeah, it might be.
It's like a whitish and slightly bluish.
No. It's like the yellow. It's the whitish, blackish. It looks like a flying squirrel.
Oh,
almost.
That's Emolga from Generation 5.
Emolga, yes. Look at Emolga and then look at Pikachu's design. Because they said like the Pokemon designs from like the first game, they all shared some kind of like similar like design choices as far as like feet and face and ears go. And if you look at like the comparative Pokemon, like Pidgeotto and Starvie and Staray or whatever, Staraptor.
Fucking Tailo and Swellow.
Tailo and Swellow. If you look at their designs for like their eyes and, you know, wings and like tail feathers and stuff, the Pokemon from that generation all share that same quality when you compare it to the other generation.
Where are you
Pokemon.
going?
I have no idea. I can't find the door. I have a map and I decided not to look at it. It's this way.
It's down and to the right. I think it's right there below you.
I'm running in circles for like a good 5 minutes. I'm like, where's this fucking door? I'm doing.
Will it go round in circles?
I'm doing a terrible justice to this guy. He explained it a lot better than I can. Just Google. Just Google Pokemon design changes between generations.
It's a long search query.
And it should. Whoops. Okay, kill me.
But I get what you're saying. Like they keep certain features similar between different generations. Like I'm assuming that all the Pikachu likes, like Pachirisu, Emolga, Deden, all have similar face, feet, and ears.
Right, because it makes it easier for like our team to pump out these Pokemon designs like the way that they can. They gave like the feet less.
Like,
oh, go ahead.
It would make sense like immersively if they all had similar features in that regard, because like mice, rats, other rodents all have generally similar feet, except like beavers have like webbed feet, I think.
Right, and that makes sense. But
yeah,
when going from generation to generation, they started to get less and less detail to the point where they became like their feet look less paw-like and more like stumpy-like.
I actually think I can see that in some of the designs. That said, I feel like current designs are in some ways more creative.
Really? I mean,
like, I don't think that the first generation was terribly creative.
Really?
Pidgey is literally a bird. Ekans is just a snake. Ekans, I think, is like the worst Pokemon in the world.
Why?
Like,
I understand
I shit on Dunsparce a lot.
Huh?
But
Wait, where?
Dunsparce at least. Yeah, I mean, I think Dunsparce is lame as fuck.
Yeah, it
But
definitely is.
at least kind of like unique. Ekans is just a snake. Arbok is just a cobra. I don't think that they have specifically interesting designs, and I think that like people hold up Generation 1 on a silver platter, but fucking.
I definitely do.
I think that like. So like you remember Mac from our Discord, right?
Yes.
He, for a while, every time a new Pokemon would pop up in the Discord, he would be like, "Oh, what is this shit? This is, are you serious?"
God damn it, Eli! I heard what you said.
So I don't disrespect or dislike Mac, but I actually
His
like.
choice of Pokemons are lacking.
Yeah, like he's a total Gen 1er, and as much as like I get the nostalgia, if you look at shit but like Garbodor and Muck, I actually think Garbodor is a way better designed Pokemon.
For the
Muck
time,
is literally
though,
just a pile of toxic sludge. Garbodor is like an updated, modernized version of that, you know, factors in you know, what might people actually be seeing in this day and age?
I
How are you
can
supposed to know
get that,
Probably
but it's just a fact, like detail over design. See what Gen 1 has over like most of the like Gen 6 and Gen 5 and Gen 4 is the fact that yes, the Pokemon were essentially less. They were less creative, yes, but they still were more detailed. Like you can look at Ekans and like, oh look, that's Ekans. You know, they had a very unique design choice. With the whole lines on the stomach and stuff. Making it look like a snake. If you look at it's another snake-like Pokemon that came out recently. Matter of fact,
let's go like Seviper from Generation 3.
Like Seviper. If you look at Seviper, that's still a bad choice because it's basically just a knockoff. It's still a knockoff Ekans still.
Except it's better.
I picked a bad Pokemon to start with because Ekans really isn't anything that you can really.
Let's keep it with Muck and Garbodor.
All right, Muck and Garbodor. No, that's still a bad choice because Muck doesn't really have a lot going for him. He's just a pile of goop. I think I just low-key proved the point.
What about Golem? Or how about Geodude and Roggenrola?
I forgot what Roggenrola was.
I guess that kind of makes the point that you're trying to make, right? Roggenrola is like a little blue rock with a hole in the middle and like 2 feet and like a little thing on his head.
I gotta look up. It's been.
Do you know Gigalith?
Who?
Gigalith. It's the evolved form. So Roggenrola evolves into Bulldor, which evolves into Gigalith.
I might just be a Gen 1 snob because you're explaining Pokemon to me that I don't even know who. Like,
I mean, there's no shame in it. Like, the only reason I'm really even talking about it is because I want people to change their opinion, because sometimes nostalgia can get in the way.
No, I'm just kidding. No, it's just...
a lot of people just take the opinion without actually thinking critically about it.
It's just that the designs are just... They're so dynamic now. Like, they change so radically. Even if you look like the Alolan versions or the Gallo versions of, like, Pokemon now. You've seen the recent... oh, God. What is it?
Fucking coughing with a top hat and a mustache?
No, but that one... Okay. I'll make a pass for that one because that looks hilarious, especially the Doug Dimmadome meme that they had for for coughing. I freaking love that design that they picked for that one. Like, I feel like now they're just starting to have fun with it. But no, I believe it's Furret, which was
Zigzagoon and Linoone.
Zigzagoon,
right?
yes, they fucking changed.
And Obstagoon.
Yes, he looks just like oh God, Kiss. Help me out here.
Gene Simmons?
Yes, he looks just like Gene Simmons. Now, that's such a radical design change from what Zigzagoon looks like in their evolved form. But I gotta ask myself, I gotta look at that design and be like why though? Like, I understand that, Pokemon's gotta get different forms from different reasons and stuff. But why go with that design choice for Pokemon game, especially for a Pokemon whose normal evolved form isn't like that dramatic?
Well, I mean, the gimmick for that particular evolution line back in Generation 3 when it was introduced was that it would go from zigzags to lions as it evolved.
Right, so what's the...
Like, you can check in the name, like Zigzagoon, Lion, Linoone.
Yeah, Linoone.
But I think as far as introducing a new form, maybe they felt like it was kind of I guess going into obsolescence. Like, no one used Exeggutor until the fucking grass dragon form came out.
That's true, but I mean, still, I feel like evolution... Alright. This is how I feel as far as, like, the whole design choices for Pokemon Go, as far as getting into, like, new regions and stuff. Vulpin had a good design choice. It went from, the regular version is, fire to a Ninetale Fox, who is still fire. The ice form kind of still followed that same thing. It just changed up the color scheme a bit and just gave it more curls, I think.
Yeah, actually, I thought that the the Vulpix line was similar to like Monster Hunter with the subspecies, where like
Right.
you know how they had fucking Agnactor in the volcano, and then they introduced the glacial Agnactor, which was in the ice biome.
Yes, and I feel like that's a perfect step we should take as far as designing like Pokemon from like different areas and stuff. The design shouldn't be a big radical change, but it should be noticeable to where, hey, you know, I can recognize this Pokemon looks like it used to be Meowth, but this is the Alolan version of Meowth, which is, you know, a little pudgier in the face. But it shouldn't get like too outwardly crazy with it, because then it kind of loses that like, hey, this looks like a subspecies, because it still looks like Zigzagoon. This looks like a subspecies because it kind of still looks like Meowth. Like you can tell this used to be a Meowth.
You don't think that the Galarian forms of Zigzagoon and Lanoon look like the originals?
If you stuck that design in front of me and didn't tell me that that was an alternate form, if you just stuck that design in front of me and was like, hey, these Pokemon are related, I would have honestly looked at that and say, oh, so that's an evolution, huh? Like, I wouldn't say, no, this is a different form of Zigzagoon, this is a different form of Lailoon.
I'm looking up the Galarian form of Lanoon right now. I can actually... So it looks almost exactly like a regular Lanoon, but with a star on its eye.
I gotta look at it again.
Obstagoon is the one that looks like...
Obstagoon, yes!
Yeah, that one definitely does look a little different.
Yeah, Lailoon probably wasn't bad. I probably wasn't thinking about the right Pokemon. Obstagoon, yes.
But Obstagoon is also a specific line or a specific evolution that's only from Galarian Lanoon. So like they took the subspecies and gave it its own exclusive evolution. Like there's no Hoennian Obstagoon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay. Then all right, I can respect that then.
It's basically like if.
Okay, I'll take coffee.
Pokemon Podcast, by the way.
Fuck. Yeah, this definitely turned into a Pokemon Podcast, and we're about 10 minutes over time, so let's end this episode here. We'll talk about more.
I just got one quick question, though, about the game.
All right, shoot.
Is it getting boring? Because it looks like it's getting kind of repetitive.
Gameplay-wise, yes. It's just, I like the fact...
You know Gen 1 Pokemon are the fucking best.